What is going up, guys? This is the Flamespot here, and we are back with a brand new paper games video. Now, this paper game is another flick game, which is going to be called, or as I call it right now, Spymaster. But if you guys want to change the name based on what you see, just put it in the comments, and then I might actually change the name of this game. So, right now, this is called Spymaster. Now, this is actually a really fun game. I played it actually a lot during the last couple of months. I actually figured it out. I just started playing it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, as you can see, there's a giant box with a bunch of boxes in it with some circles and dotted lines. Now, you're gonna pretend that this is actually a room that you have to go through and reach to the exit door. Now, since this is going to be a spy game, there's always an objective or something to get done. Now, let's just go over the characters, I guess. So, this first dot down here is always going to be colored in dark. That's going to be your character. This is basically where you start. And since I said it's a flick game, whenever you flick, you're going to put down a dot to represent your character is there. These open circles, these are guards, and the way where these dotted lines or dashed lines, this is where they're sighting, where they can sight you. So, I'll get into those rules later. Anything else that doesn't have, that's like a shape or like this, if there's triangles around, those are just barriers, and I'll get more into that later. So, the main objective that I chose to get every single level is that there's intel. These are like little briefcases, and so I put an X over them to show that you need to get those in order to complete the level. So, after you get the intel, then there's the double doors. Now, you start in a one door and with your character, and then you have to go to the double doors after you retrieve all of the intel or whatever your objective is this level. Now, there's also two other things called notices and your moves. Now, the point of this game is that you're supposed to like make photocopies or just print out many different copies of this game and try to get it to the least amount of moves possible. And then you can also hand a copy to your friend and be like, hey, how many moves can you get this done in? So that's the point of moves. Now notices. Notices are whenever you flick and you hit into a barrier or any of these random boxes that aren't a person. If you hit anything, then that takes off one of your notices. If you go to the intel and you hit the wall behind it, that also counts as a notice. Unless there isn't a wall. You could like put the intel in like the center square and there might be nothing around them. This is a totally customizable game, so you can put any of you guys wherever you want. So, like I said, if you flick into, let's just say you flick into this wall, then that's -1 notice. And then you get into this wall, that's another notice. And then if you get into a third one, since I put that you can only have 3 notices, this level, then that means you lose, and you'll have to restart. So, yeah. Now, an automatic loss is if you flick into the line of sight of one of these guards. If you flick it, and it goes through the line of sight, even just barely, then you lose the level 2, and you have to restart by either photocopying another, not photocopy, by either printing out another copy of the level. Make sure you always have spare ones in case if this does happen, or if, I don't even remember what I said. Alright, so, like I said, you start with your single dot, flick, put a dot, flick, get the intel, go out the double doors, don't bump into walls, and don't run into the side of people. Now, if you see right here, the sight also continues down here, technically because that would be true. If you were a person right here, you would also see beyond this wall a certain amount. So if you're going to make this game, make sure it's a little realistic so that you can actually, like the guards can see somewhat around corners. And if you wanted to make it difficult, then you can put like an intel right here, and like they could instantly lose if they flick too hard. Now, I have prepared 3 different levels with 3 different people, I think. With a couple other different objects that I'll just go over. I'm only going to play this first one, and then I'll show you how to draw one if you need to, and it's going to be pretty simple. So, this is basically the beginner's one, since like I said, I've been doing this for a couple of months, well, like 1 month, I've been playing this game, so I feel like I should be doing good. Not sure though, anything can happen. So I start with my person, and I flick, and I write a dot, and if you want to, you can actually, oh, I didn't flick, you can actually make this like a two-person thing, so like you each have to alternate your dots, and see who gets the intel and who escapes first. But I personally would like it if you do it, you completely complete the mission, get everything, and then you write down how many moves it took you, and then you hand it to your friend, and they'll try to beat your score. So actually, I'm just going to end it right here with this example. You can easily see how it's going to be done. So as soon as I flick it, I'll go around this corner, get the intel, come back, go through those double doors. Alright, so that's the first level. Usually I always try to make my first level easy. I've also introduced this game to a couple of my friends. I started them off in the first level, and sometimes they're just not as good, and they can't flick as well, and so they actually might need more notices. So if you wanted to change the amount of notices, it doesn't always have to be 3. Depending on how hard you think the level is, then you can change it. So, this is a little more complex. You can see there's a lot more barriers that you can attack. You have a dot, you have 2 intel, 2 guards, your double doors back here, but you actually see something new. Alright? So, right here, this is your grappling hook. And you can add other things if you want, but I just like to call this my grappling hook. So if you flick into that, you can go all the way around, and you can go through here. These are windows. Now if you see, these windows have a dotted line, and it brings you up to the top. So, it might be a shortcut if you want to think about it. So you can go all the way through, get the grappling hook, come back. Actually, you might want to get the intel first. Get the grappling hook, come back so you don't have to go through this giant maze where you could get noticed many times. Go through here, and then go through, get the intel, and out the double doors. Alright? So, like I said, this level is probably going to be a little bit harder. Now, the reason why I'm saying that you guys might want to play this is because I actually made a website for my paper games. All of my paper games, my ideas, and little printout versions, if there are any, are on my website. I'll have the link of that website in the description so that you can print out some of these games. I'll also make a photocopy of this last level, this one, and this other level. Just 3 levels that you can play, and then you can probably make the rest of your own. Alright, and sorry about this little waterlogged area. I took it camping, and it got wet, and so now I got a new journal, so I'll probably do most of my favorite game videos from there now. So grappling hook and windows. New addition. It's gonna be pretty cool. Now, not all stages have to be square. They can be rectangular, you can make them like an L shape, but I think that actually having it skinnier might be a little harder, because you can put more objects like this and more tough situations where you have to go down narrow paths, and you can instantly lose. So, I think this is actually a really fun one. I made a couple of them like this, got through them. I think I did pretty well. Now, since I thought this was a harder one, I gave myself 5 notices. So, if you want to do like a notice board, you can go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and whenever you get noticed, you can just cross one out, and 2, 3, and however many notices you get. Now, with this one, it's just standard, nothing new. You have your regular guards, and then you also have your box. Now, I also made another one. I thought I made one in this journal, but apparently I did not. I made a different type of guard, and I'll just show it in this one. I'll actually put a photocopy because I did get another journal, and I made some maps for that journal. But I'll show you this one character. Now, there's actually different types of guards, well, by which I only have one other different type of guard. And so I made them look like they have a bandana, as if they're like a ninja or something. And so, not only do they have their basic sight, but they also have a sight circle around them. So they can sense whenever there's someone in this area. So if you flick into the area, you also lose. Now, this is a really cool type of guard. So if you have like a short area, so let's say if I put the guard right here and he had like a circle around him, then you would most likely try to go around instead of through here. And same thing right here, you might want to go around this way instead of going behind the guard because you have a shorter way to go through the line. I'm pretty sure you can see all those dots. But this is like a little sight circle along with their little sight row if they have like the bandana on them. Alright, so let's just make a new map. Let's just make it pretty simple. I'll just make it a regular rectangle. And it's also pretty good really good to use on college ruled paper or maybe even wide ruled because you have like an outline of all your squares. I feel like squares are probably the best that you can do, and so all these lines, they like help you like do dimensions and keep your line straight. If you had like a ruler, I don't have a ruler, but I mean it would still work. You can use triangles. Let's just put an intel right here. Let's have some guy there. And you can actually make this into a cool little game. Oh yeah, also if there's just a straight line, that's also as if there is a wall. It's just like a small little wall, not like a barrier or anything like that. So you can only get in through like right here. That'd be pretty cool. Put a guard. But you can make this game more interesting if you were playing with another friend. You can, you and your friend can both make a level in which you're only restricted to like how many boxes you can use per level, and then how many notices you can do, how many guards. You can like put a limit on everything if you want to, and then try to make that fun with your friends. So let's put your door right here through the single door. You have your character. Have that. I'll put a guard right here. And let's put like an intel right there. Along with the wall. Oops. And a box here. And like that. And then you can make it like harder by just adding so many different boxes. You can put in curves, slopes like that, so like you can't like accidentally go like that. You'll get a notice. Also, it might make the room look better. If you want to, you can actually decorate these little boxes as if they are something. So like a bookshelf. I don't know what a bookshelf would look like 3D, or like a TV. You can basically do anything you want. And let's just put all aspects that I thought of. So let me put in a grappling hook. I just made like a little 3D gun with like a little spike coming out on each end. And let's have a window going here. Window is 2 lines, cross, cross. Looks like a giant hashtag. And let's have the other window end up here. And then make sure you have your dotted line, because you can have multiple windows in each level if you wanted. But remember, each time you use a window, it takes up your grappling hook. So if you're going to have like multiple windows, then you should have multiple grappling hooks. Unless you can change the rules if you want. I also thought that you can make like a giant, like 5 pages, pretend that it's all one giant building, and that you can have a grappling hook. And just keep it throughout that level. Like you might just get it, and you might go through the double doors, you go on to the next page, you have a grappling hook, and then there might be a window that you might want to go through. So you can save your grappling hooks. I'm actually also am thinking about making probably a 5 or 10 page one of these and actually play through it for you guys fully, so that you guys can fully understand, or if you just want to watch it. I find this is a really fun game. I played with some of my friends. And basically, that's how you play. That's all it is to play it. So you just flick, oops, and then you just draw your dot wherever you are. Alright, so if you like this kind of videos, paper games, any sort of games, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. if you have any other suggestions, any like games you want me to go off of, so like if you want me to make try to make some sort of Mario Kart paper game or like Halo, I'll probably try to figure it out and see what I can do to make that possible. I'll comment down below if you do have an idea like that, and just let me know that you have some ideas for me. So this is the Flame Spot signing out.